Hi, my name's Hazem Gaber, and today we're going to learn about CrowdStrike. We're going to try to figure out why CrowdStrike is the biggest disaster in the history of information technology. First of all, who's CrowdStrike? So let's take a look at their website. They're basically a AI-based malware antivirus. They're basically an antivirus company that has some fancier AI cloud-based stuff. They just put in those words, cloud-based AI, a bunch of BS, and then oh wow, they're great. So they got a bunch of different services here. But so when you go here, you look at their website, they got endpoint security, exposure, automation, cloud, AI, SIEM, workflow, blah blah blah, services, red team, blue team, penetration testing. So basically, they send people to secure your whole organization and lock up all your systems and make you super duper secure. And they do that by collecting all of your data and sending it to them. And then they use some algorithms to analyze. And so supposedly, they can detect security breaches faster than anybody else. It's according to them. But most of their money comes from endpoint security, which is basically a fancy term for a virus program. So they sell this antivirus program, and it's like $99 a year per computer or something like that. So see, 99 for Pro, $4.99 per device for Enterprise, and then what you get is antivirus, and then a thing that blocks USB keys from stealing data. And then if you pay more, you also get some firewall. And if you pay more, then you get some of the AI threat management, and then some of the detection, and then what they call IT hygiene. So IT hygiene detects unauthorized accounts, devices, and applications. So it tends to it makes an IT or a security manager's life easier because they got one application that they go to that runs the whole security instead of having to do a lot of different things manually. So it's basically a firewall, an antivirus, and onboarding, offboarding, account security, all of that in one. It's called a platform, and it uses this native AI. So AI has been if people are using the word AI in their product a lot. AI has been around for a long time, but it's just getting in the news. So they say they are twice as effective as at security, 66% faster investigations, 96% more threats identified, and it has a $6 return for every dollar you pay within 5 months. So if you pay $99 for this application, you're going to make about $600 back within 5 months because of not having security breaches and stuff like that. So, and there's also a marketplace, which means other people can build apps that run within the CrowdStrike, and then you can buy different identity management, Zscaler. A lot of companies use Zscaler, so there's a lot of different applications here that run within the within your stuff. So we got look Access Security, for example. Access is a popular computer security camera company, and they make now they have an application, for example, that works within the within CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike's like an operating system within an operating system. Now, if we go back to thing here, so what actually happened is there's a thing called pipes, and so what pipes are is if I'm typing a command in my computer and I want to send it to another application. So let's say I want to search for some data and I want to send it to Notepad. I can type my first command, and then I can create a pipe, and then I can do that, and so the pipe, which is this like stick here, will send my data from my first command to my second command, and I can even pipe from my second command to my third command. But people who are evil will put some kind of virus that can take advantage of the pipe. And so CrowdStrike created an update to make that pipe secure. And when they did that, it broke all the computers. So when those computers that were on and that received the update, when they rebooted, they wouldn't turn on anymore. And so what happened was airlines couldn't book any flights because their servers had a big mess. They couldn't turn on their servers, so they couldn't. They had to cancel 5,000 flights. Bank shut down. Nobody could take any payments. The U.S.-Canada border shut down. Borders in Europe shut down. Because basically everything we do runs on computers, and the computers weren't turning on, and nobody knew why. So nothing could happen. Hospitals also shut down. And then when we found out that CrowdStrike was behind the update, then their stock fell 10%. Now their market cap is 75 billion. So when they fell 10%, they lost basically 11%. So they lost about $8 billion in one day, in a matter of hours. Now, are they going to come back? Well, this isn't. So if we look at the CrowdStrike, everybody thinks they're one of the biggest leaders in cybersecurity right now. So many of the Fortune 500 use them. So I would say they're coming back pretty strong because they have a subscription-based model. So they're not selling you a product one time, and most of their money is coming from monthly or yearly revenue for endpoints. So they've signed on a lot of contracts with a lot of different companies, and it's a huge cost for, say, if you have a business like I don't know, if you're Home Depot and you got 60,000 computers, to switch from CrowdStrike to another company, it'll cost you, $1 billion in IT labor to have to switch over. So it's very unlikely that people are gonna just cancel their service because of this one thing. Second thing is, this wasn't a security breach. So if CrowdStrike had a security breach, like somebody introduced a virus into the CrowdStrike application, as happened with SolarWinds a few years ago, then this would be a huge disaster, and that company would probably end, except people are still using SolarWinds. SolarWinds isn't a security company, so it's hard to say. I think that it's probably in the range of $60 billion in damage to the customers of CrowdStrike, who now have to manually go back and fix every single computer, and it's a ton of work, especially for cloud-based computers, and it's a ton of work for customers who have many remote offices with no IT. So if you've got a big office with like 800 computers and you got an IT guy or a couple IT guys, those guys, they might have to work overtime this weekend and fix all the computers, and they'd be okay. They could probably get through it in addition to their regular duties, or they could call a staffing firm to come help them out a bit. But if you've got a bunch of offices, like one of my clients whose offices are spread out over, an entire province, for example, or 3 provinces, and they've got offices with 5 computers or 6 computers, or they've got people working from home, then you can either try and teach those people how to fix the problem remotely, or if you can't, then you gotta send somebody, or they gotta bring their computers in, so cost could be very high. So maybe CrowdStrike will say, hey, we're gonna give you a year off your subscription, so here's a year for free, or here's $10 off, or something to fix the screw up. And that just fixes that doesn't make the customer whole. So if you're an airline and all your flights got canceled and you lost like $1 billion in ticket revenue today, you're not going to get that money back because of a software update. So really, the lesson learned here is you should always test your software update before you do it. And that's one of the problems with this CrowdStrike, and it's one of the problems with Microsoft in general. They've gone from here's an application that you pay for and you have it, to now it's like, here's an application and it's software as a service. And that means that you have to get the updates whether you like it or not. Microsoft doesn't let you say no to updates anymore. And CrowdStrike doesn't let you say no to updates anymore. And the reason they do that is part of it is to lock you in, part of it's to get your data. And they need your data because they need your data to figure out what you're doing for all kinds of crazy reasons. Part of it's to improve the product. Part of it is to make the product better. Part of it is that these AI-based antivirus programs don't work if they're just running on your computer. They need to capture the data that's on your computer, including the viruses, to send them back, and that's the whole point, so they can use an algorithm to look for patterns and figure out the malware earlier. And they can't do that if they can't get access to your data, and they also can't do that if they can't be effective if they can't send updates to you quickly, because a virus comes out, their software automatically sees a new trend in malware and then pushes an update to all the computers that are affected. And this happens, this takes hours now instead of weeks. But if they don't do that, then they're not going to be effective. So they need some kind of middle ground where they can test their updates before they push them out. But they need to be able to do it quickly. And so you haven't been able to do that. And that's why we had this failure today. If you have any questions, please post a comment. Thank you.